When Jesus stood on a hillside, surrounded by people from all walks of life, fishermen, mothers, elders and children, he began to speak words that would echo through centuries. These words were not just teachings, but invitations to see life in a new way, to turn our understanding upside down. He spoke words that challenged everything people thought they knew about happiness, strength, and what it means to be blessed. The crowd listened, expecting wisdom, but what they heard was something entirely unexpected. Among his teachings was a phrase that still surprises us today. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. In a world that often tells us to hide our pain, to put on a brave face, these words invite us to be honest about our sorrow. At first, this seems like a contradiction. How could mourning, something so heavy and painful, possibly be a blessing? The people on that hillside must have looked at each other in confusion, just as we might today. We often think of blessings as things that bring us joy or comfort, not sadness. How can grief, which feels so isolating, be a place where we find something good? But Jesus isn't saying that pain itself is good or that we should seek out suffering. Instead, he's revealing a deeper truth. In our deepest sorrow, we are not abandoned. In fact, it's often in these moments of brokenness that we become most open to receiving comfort and love. When our hearts are broken, we are vulnerable. And in that vulnerability, we can experience a unique grace, a promise that we will not be left alone in our pain. It's in these raw moments that God's presence can feel most real, most tender. This isn't about quick fixes or easy answers. Mourning is a journey, and comfort doesn't always come right away. But there is a deep assurance here. God meets us in our pain, sits with us in our grief, and gently offers hope. Sometimes comfort comes through the quiet presence of a friend, a gentle word, or even the simple act of being seen and understood. Other times it's a slow dawning of hope, like the first light after a long night. Jesus invites us to see mourning not as weakness, but as a doorway, a sacred space where we can encounter God's compassion in a way we might never have known otherwise. Our tears are not ignored. Our sorrow is not dismissed. In these moments, our hearts are gently held by a loving God who understands every ache and every loss. We are not expected to be strong all the time. It's okay to grieve, to feel, to let our hearts be tender. The blessing is not in the sadness itself, but in the hope that comfort will come. It's the promise that even in our darkest moments, there is a light that cannot be extinguished, a hope that rises with the dawn. In our grief, we are not alone. God is present, offering comfort, understanding, and the gentle assurance that mourning can lead us to a deeper experience of love and hope than we ever imagined. Mourning is universal yet deeply personal. It's more than sadness. It's a response to losing something or someone vital. Grief is messy, unpredictable, and affects every part of us. Time alone doesn't heal. It's what we do with that time and who supports us that matters. Grief isn't just about death. It can follow any significant loss, a job, a relationship, a dream. To mourn is to be human. It's the price of love. The depth of our grief reflects the depth of our connection. By allowing ourselves to mourn, we honor what was lost and begin to heal. If this message resonates with you, please like the video to support our channel and help others find comfort too. Jesus didn't just talk about compassion, he lived it. Every moment of his life was a testament to the power of empathy and kindness. He didn't keep his distance from those who were hurting. Instead, he drew near, making their pain his own. In a world that often turns away from suffering, Jesus leaned in, offering comfort and hope to those who needed it most. When his friend Lazarus died, Jesus wept with those who grieved, even though he knew he would soon bring Lazarus back to life. His tears weren't for show, they were a genuine expression of shared sorrow. In that moment, Jesus showed us that true compassion isn't about fixing things right away, but about being present in the pain, feeling it alongside those who suffer. He entered their pain, showing that true compassion means being present, not offering quick solutions. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give is simply to sit with someone in their grief, to let them know they are not alone. Jesus modeled this kind of presence, reminding us that words are often unnecessary when hearts are heavy. Throughout his ministry, Jesus noticed those who were overlooked. He saw the tears that others ignored, and he responded with gentle understanding. His compassion was not reserved for the few, but extended to all who suffered, no matter their story. In the town of Nain, Jesus encountered a grieving widow who had lost her only son. Moved by her sorrow, he reached out and restored her son to life. But before the miracle, there was a moment of deep empathy. Jesus saw her pain, and his heart went out to her. His compassion was not just in his actions, but in his ability to truly see and feel another's suffering. Compassion starts with empathy, seeing and feeling another's pain. It's about opening our hearts to the struggles of others, even when we can't fully understand them. Empathy is the doorway to meaningful connection, and it's where true comfort begins. Sometimes compassion leads us to action, offering a shoulder to cry on, a warm drink, or a simple gesture of kindness. Other times it's about quietly sharing the burden, letting someone know they don't have to carry their sorrow alone. Both are powerful ways to show love. For Jesus, compassion was both presence and help. He knew when to sit in silence and when to offer a helping hand. His example teaches us that comfort can be found in both words and actions, and that sometimes just being there is enough. For us, compassion might look like sharing a meal with someone who's hurting, listening without judgment, or reaching out to help in practical ways. These small acts can make a world of difference to someone in pain. Jesus' life is a blueprint. If we want to bless those who mourn, we must be willing to enter their world with love, patience, and understanding. It's not about having all the answers, but about showing up with an open heart. True comfort is found in shared sorrow and genuine care. When we walk alongside others in their grief, we reflect the compassion of Jesus, bringing light and hope into the darkest moments. In times of grief, our first instinct is often to search for the right words or to try to fix what feels broken. We want to offer solutions, to make the pain go away, or to fill the silence with advice. But the truth is, the most meaningful gift we can give someone who is grieving is simply our presence, our willingness to sit with them, to share the quiet and to let them know they are not alone in their sorrow. When Maria lost her husband, her world felt like it had stopped. Her friend Sarah didn't try to fill the space with words or advice. Instead, she just sat beside Maria. Sometimes they talked, sometimes they simply sat in silence, sharing a cup of tea or watching the world outside the window. Sarah's gentle presence was a quiet reminder that Maria didn't have to face her pain alone. This kind of companionship, where words aren't always necessary, speaks volumes. It says, "You're not alone. I'm here with you no matter how hard it gets." Sometimes just holding a hand or sitting close can offer more comfort than any speech ever could. At work, David's team noticed his quiet sadness after his loss. They didn't push him to talk or pretend everything was normal. Instead, they eased his workload, checked in with him gently, and made sure he knew they cared. Their support wasn't loud or showy, but it was steady and real, creating a safe space for David to grieve in his own way. Presence isn't just important in the early days of loss. It matters just as much weeks and months later, when the world has moved on, but the pain remains. Ongoing visits, check-ins and small gestures remind someone that they are still cared for, even as time passes. Tom made a habit of visiting Arthur, who had lost his wife. These regular visits, sometimes filled with conversation and sometimes with comfortable silence, helped Arthur feel less isolated. The simple act of sharing tea or a quiet afternoon became a lifeline, breaking through the loneliness that grief can bring. These acts weren't grand or dramatic, but they were deeply meaningful. Small gestures, a cup of tea, a gentle touch, a shared memory, became anchors in a sea of sadness, offering hope and connection. Presence says, "I see you, I'm here." It's a message that doesn't need words but is felt deeply. Just knowing someone is willing to sit with you in your pain can make all the difference. In the storm of grief, presence is a steady anchor. It grounds us, reminding us that even in our darkest moments, we are not truly alone. The simple act of showing up again and again is a powerful comfort. Sometimes just showing up, without answers, without expectations, is the most powerful comfort we can give. In the end, it's our presence, not our words, that truly helps heal the heart. If this video touched your heart, comment "Blessed are those that mourn" below. Your words might encourage someone else who needs comfort today. Grief makes even simple tasks overwhelming. Providing food is an ancient practical act of compassion. After tragedy, the Thompson family's neighbours brought meals, easing their burden and reminding them they weren't alone. For Chloe, grieving a divorce, her sister's weekly cooking visits brought warmth and structure back to her life. These acts nourished both body and soul. Cooking together became therapy, creating new memories and comfort. Practical care, like a meal, can be a profound expression of love. In grief, small acts of kindness help begin the healing. Grief drains energy, making daily tasks feel impossible. When Mark lost his wife, friends stepped in, handling school runs, groceries and repairs. These simple acts lifted a huge weight, letting Mark focus on his children and their shared grief. Eleanor, widowed and moving after 50 years, was helped by friends who packed and listened to her stories. Practical help turns overwhelming tasks into shared experiences. It's not about grand gestures, but about showing up and doing what's needed. Community is built on these acts of service. Comfort is found in concrete, helpful ways. Love is often shown best through simple, practical support. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more stories and support. Remembering loved ones is vital to healing. After Mr. Harrison's death, students organised a book drive in his honour, keeping his passion alive. Liam's friends hiked his favourite trail on his birthday, sharing memories and celebrating his life. These acts transform grief into connection and meaning. Honouring the lost keeps their spirit present in our lives. Remembrance is not dwelling in the past, but carrying love forward. Rituals and traditions help us process loss together. Community remembrance turns absence into shared presence. Through memory, we find comfort and renewed hope. Grief is a long journey, not just the days after a loss. Support groups like Mothers Who Meet to Share About Lost Children offer ongoing understanding and strength. After a disaster, communities gather, share stories, and help each other rebuild. These circles of support are lifelines, reminding us we're not alone. Shared sorrow forges deep bonds and resilience. Community support helps integrate grief into life. We heal together, not in isolation. Bearing one another's burdens is how we embody compassion. If this message touched you, consider sharing it with a friend or family member who might need support. Together we can create even stronger circles of compassion. Jesus' words, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted," are a promise of hope. Grief is the shadow of love, but comfort is found in presence, kindness, and shared stories. God's comfort often comes through people who care. We're called to be agents of comfort, present, listening, and helping in small ways. Every act of kindness weaves a support network for the grieving. Mourning is proof of deep connection, not the end of the story. We walk through grief together, held by God's promise. In shared compassion, we discover the true blessing of comfort. As you move forward, consider, how can your compassion become a light for someone walking through grief? If this message brought you comfort, please like, subscribe, and share this video with others who may need hope and support.